Hi everyone. Today I'm going to discuss on the concomitant medication domain, which is a part of the intervention general observation class. SDTM IG 3.2 section has been divided into or classified into several classifications, mainly special purpose domains, intervention general observation class, events general observation class, findings general observation class, findings about trial designs domain and relationship data sets. This is the classification in the SDTM IG 3.2 section version. So in the intervention general observation class, we have the domains like concomitant medications and exposure collected, substance use and procedures. So interventions general observation contains like during the study period or for some domains, whatever the subject consumes or takes, that information will be captured. Remember, in intervention general observation class, in the exposure and exposure collected, these are the data sets we capture only study treatment information. And coming to the concomitant medications, we will capture or collect the information like during the treatment, subject may take some medications due to adverse events or due to some other reasons. So the any other additional medication information is captured in the concomitant medication. At the same time, if the subject has any history of taking some medications, that information also we can see in the concomitant medications. By using the CM category variable, we can identify what type of the medication subjects, like when the subject is taking that information, we can filter that condition. Substance use, it collects the information subjects like if he is taking any additional like nicotine, alcohol, or some other other than medication, if he is consuming that information, we can see in the substance use. So today we will see or we will discuss more into concomitant medications. It is one of the very important interventions domain after the exposure and exposure collected. And you can see some tables in are related to concomitant medication. Based on the study requirement, we can make analysis data set of the concomitant medication. It's called as a ADCM to make the tables listings, or we can collect or we can uh, create the tables directly from the concomitant medication. And another thing is the next point here I want to see is in the 3.2 they gave the definition here like prior or concomitant medication subjects information will be captured in the CM domain. And if you see here, this is the structure of this domain. Like one record per recorded intervention means medication are constant during for the constant dosing taken by the subject. That information is captured in the concomitant medication. Before going to before going into the uh, variable level information, so understanding of the variables is very important, and having the knowledge and is also one of the very important when you start learning and you when you start practicing. Initially it will become new or you may feel uncomfortable, but when you start reading, you see or you can compare the variable names between the domains, so that it is by that way it easily understandable, or we can easily understand the variable names itself. So SDTM variables has been classified in the role category 5 types like identifier variables, topic variables, timing variables, qualifier variables, rule variables. Again, the qualifier variables has been classified into 5 categories: grouping qualifiers, result qualifiers, synonymous qualifier, record qualifiers, and variable qualifiers. This is the very important interview question. And when you start making the SDTM data set, you, based on the role of the variable also, you will derive the variables. And the core type, we can see required variable, expected variable, permissible variables. And as I said earlier, the SDTM, the tabular structure, whatever they gave in the SDTM IG, it is almost similar to the Excel sheet or spreadsheet when you start working in a company or organization. In the Excel sheet, instead of the series nodes, you can see as a derivation for particular variable. And the standard is remain same, like variable name, label, type, and control terms are code list, and role and derivation followed by usually we don't mention in the specification about the core. It is self-understanding, and we can see, we can write at any additional comments also. And also we can see origin of the variable. So like there are multiple classification like derived, predecessor, assigned. These are the origin of the variable, how that particular variable has been derived. So in my programming classes, I will describe or in detail on the specification, how to make the specification, how to update or how to review the specification based on the protocol or study document. Okay, uh, coming to the concomitant medications domain variable level, we will see one by one variable here. So first variable is study ID, and this ID or this variable is present in across all domains because it is a required variable. Next one is domain variable. So all SDTM variable are alphabetical, two letter alphabetical characters. Of course, we have findings about domain. It has 4 characters domain name in the SDTM level. We will discuss findings about domain after this session. Next is the next variable is unique subject ID. So unique subject ID formed or can be derived based on the study ID, site ID, and subject ID. Uh, if the variables have different variables in the raw data level. So unique subject ID is formed by study ID, site ID, and subject ID. And this is also required variable. Next variable is CM sequence. Sequence number of particular record for particular subject. So if you are seeing the sequence numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 10 for particular subject, those are the per day and per intervention the subject is taking the medication. That information by the sequence number we can identify the record that on that day what is the subject taken medication and what category of medication, that information we can see. And of course we can see what is the dose of the amount and what is administration of the that medication. That details also we can see particular to CM sequence record. Next, group ID. So the particular are together medications combined information or group of records, we can assign one number. This is a that is called as a group ID. So this is the permissible variable. If the study team does not want to include or not include in the study, then we are not required to capture this variable. Next, sponsor ID are usually called as a CRF line number. If any information is captured on this CM sponsor ID, we will take sponsor ID. Otherwise, we cannot necessary to keep this variable in the SDTM CM data set. This is also permissible variable. Next one is the topic variable and CM TRT. And if you see in the adverse event, the topic variable is AE term. Again, this topic variable is one of the important interview question, because based on this variable, we can check whether domain is dataset is complete or incomplete. All topic variables values should be required. If the variable value should not be missing. If it is any missing information, we can inform to data management team to update the data. Next one is CM modify. So modified reported term. Sorry, again, before going to the CMTRT. So CMTRT, we can see the values like the treatment or reported name of the drug, medication or therapy. We can see like what is the medication subject is taking. For example, subject is taking any folic acid medication or any aspirin medication, that information, or any atenolol medication he is taking, for example, we can all the values will go into the CMTRT. So slight modification name of the CMTRT values we can see in the CM modify. So CM modify is the updation or modify name of CMTRT, and CM modified is a permissible variable. If required only, we will capture, otherwise we can drop this variable or not required to or necessary to keep this variable in the dataset level. Next one is CM decode. This is the dictionary derived or standardized medication name, and CMTRT, CM modify, and CM decodes. If you see almost similar values for few molecules. For example, CM decode, you can see for the aspirin like of medication, you can see it is as a acetyl salicylic acid. And for the folic acid, you can see as a CM decode as a folic acid medication. And for the atorvastatin like CMTRT, we can see CM decode as a atorvastatin. So if if the standardized medication name is any slight difference, that information we capture in the CMD code or CMTRT values we can take. But when you want to make that any tables or listings, and it is necessary to take CM decode variable instead of CMTRT, because CMTRT it is like a verbatim term like, but if you see CM decode, it is a standardized medication. And it is also one of the interview question like which variable values you will take. So CM decode is preferable. Even in the AE, we can take AE decode instead of AE term. Understanding of the variables across the domains also important and plays an important role for the comparison purpose. And most of the SDTM variables, if you see in particular classification, except for the two alphabets, or if we replace the two alphabets with the another domain, we get the same meaning, but the values will be changed. That's why understanding the variable is very important. Next one is the CM category. So category of the medication. For example, the subject is taking with the CMTRT with the aspirin, and the CMD code is acetyl salicylic acid, and the CM category we can see as a prior concomitant medication or prior slash concomitant medication. So based on the category, we can see that TRT value. or CM category value. So if you see as per the SDTM-IG, we can see it as a concomitant medication or anti-cancer medication or general concomitant medication. So based on the study during the CRF making, they will give the category so that information it will be captured. And this is also permissible variable. If required only, we will capture this information. Otherwise, we will leave it. Next one is CM subcategory. So CM subcategory is categorization of this medication. Like we can see for some molecules, some studies like therapeutic or some any other classification. We can see, for example, you can see hormonal therapy, alternative therapy, or chemotherapy. So subcategory of that medication information we can see. Next one is CM pre-specified. So here if you see here CM pre-specified, CM occur, CM status, CM reason not done. These are the interview variables. Like in the interview, they will check your knowledge or understanding of these variables. For example, subject during the informed consent form, if the subject is telling or says, I am taking this medication daily basis, then the values expectation during the treatment study is as a Y. But unfortunately, if the subject has not taken that medication, then the values we can see as a no. So if the subject like initially tells about that medication, then the values we can see as a yes. And at the same time, during the treatment, if he takes the values we can see as a yes, or if the values or if the subject has not taken that medication, we can see as a no. And this is the interview question, what type of the values you can see in the CM occur or CM pre-specified. And you don't see in the CM pre-specified no value, but you can see in the CM occur. So next variable is the CM status. When CM pre-specified is yes, but there is a missing value is present in the CM occur, then the status of these values should be not done. So it is this variable helps to understand about the why the subject is not taken. So the reason why the subject is not taken, that is present in the reason for medication not collected. So this CM pre-specified, CM occur, CM status, and CM reason not done. So in the findings domain also we have the LB status. So status of the sample analysis we can consider. If not done means we can consider in the LB or findings domain that the sample is collected but analysis is not performed. Here also not done means the subject has not taken. So why the subject has not taken, that information should be captured in here. Next one is CM INDC. So why the subject is taken that medication in the category we can see is because of the adverse event or because of the pre-existing condition, or we can see the values as a other also. So you may see the some tables if the study demands the based on the indication like subject prior or concomitant medication related to nausea or hypertension, then you need to select the CM INDC variable for the selecting the records. Next one is CM class. So since we have the class as a character variable and CM class code, this is also character variable. So what type of the class, that information we can see in the CM classification. It is a classification given to that particular medication. So we can see that information in the CM class and followed by class code. This is the variable qualifier and this is the permissible variable. Next one is the CM dose. So CM dose and dose text. So if you see here, CM dose is a numeric variable and CM dose text is a character variable. So since it is a character variable, we can expect to see the values with the 200 to 400 range. And if the subject is taking medication and it is very clear that the administered amount or administered amount is 40 or 40 mg, usually the dose amount 40, 20, 10 will be given in the CM dose. But if the range is known like 10 to 20 mg or 40 to 50 mg, the time we will see the values in the CM dose text. So when you see the CM dose text values with the 200 to 300 or 15 to 20, CM dose adjacent same row adjacent column value should be missing. If CM dose and CM dose text is populated, it is become a data issue. That's why if you see here clearly, not populated when CM dose is populated, it is not expected. And also these two variables also permissible variables. Next, CM dose units. Dosage units like how much amount of the subject, sorry, how much, what is the quantity in the units like milligrams per kilograms or micrograms. If he is taking any medication in the liquid form, it is ml. We can see different units like percentage, grams, milligrams, ml, mg, micrograms, mg per kg, microliters. All these units we can see in the CM dose units, and it is very important. You may see the data issues like unexpected units should not be present. If it is present, we can inform to data manager. Next one is a CM dosage form. So what type of the dosage form subject is taking? So subject that dosage form, it depends like a, a tablet, capsule, cream, sorry, not cream, tablet, capsule, or any lotion. That information we can see in the CM dosage form. Next one is frequency. Frequency means interval, how much gap he is taking between the medications. That we can see in the CM dose frequency. So CM dose frequency, for example, Q12H values, if you are seeing, that meaning is every 12 hours. So there is a separate chart present to if any calculations present to see about the subject CM dose frequency means daily once or daily two, like usually it is mentioned as a 10 times per day, one time per day. We can see values like once, other, PRN or QD or TID or BID are 14 times a day, 15 times a day. These values we can see in the CM dose frequency. Next one is the CM dose total. CM dose total means total daily dose. How much quantity subject is taking, that information we can see in the CM dose total. This is also permissible variable. Next one is CM dosage regimen, intended dosage regimen. There is a regimen, uh, it is given prescribed by doctor, like duration of that medication to be taken like 2 weeks, and if he is taking some alternative days, uh, 2 weeks off. So this is the how, what is the method to be taken, that information captured in the dosage regimen. So this is also permissible variable. Next one is CM route of administration of that particular medication. There are some routes are present for like medications. Those are like intramuscular, ocular, intravenous, nasal, oral, rectal administration, subcutaneous, sublingual, topical, vaginal, transdermal. So these are the some routes of administration. So if study team or want to see that information or to be want to be collected this information also collected during the study. Next one is the CM STTTC, CM ENDTC. These are the date and time variables. As I said earlier, SDTM dates are character type data, and we can see ISO 860 format. And this is start and date time of collection means CM STDTTC. So all dates in the SDTM, the prefix only different and STDTC remains similar like AE STDTC. And we can see here CM STDTC. Then we can see CM NDTC when that concomitant medication has been stopped. That information also we can, that information date and date we can see in the CM ENDTC. Next one is the calculation purpose. We will use the dates CM STDDY, and we also have CM ENDY means the start of that medication with respect to the reference start date or RFSTTTC, and end of that medication with respect to the RFSTTTC. We can see these values in CMSTDY and CMENDY values. Then we have the variable called CM duration. So how much duration the subject has taken for that particular concomitant medication. So this is in the Adam level, we will calculate with respect to days. In the Adam level, we'll call it as a ADUR, means analysis duration. In the SDTM level, we will call it as a CM duration. Next values we have is starting relative, reference start relative and end relative to the concomitant medication taking. So CM-STRF we have and CM end ENRF, start relative to reference period and end relative to reference period. Always CM-STRF, CM-ENRF. So CM-STRF is depends on the CM-ST-RTPT means start relative to the reference time point and start reference time point. And we have like another two variables like CM ENRTPT and CM ENTPT. So if you see here the definition for the CMST TPT, start reference time point. So what is the reference time point? So the reference time point, this is not standard study duration. This is the reference point given by the sponsor. So that it might be particular date and on particular visit. So based on this particular date or visit, we will capture the information in the CMSTRTPT. So CMSTRTPT and CMSTTPT are related to the start of particular medication, and CMENRTPT and CMENTPT related to the end relative to the reference time point, related to the end of the medication. We can see the values like prior, ongoing, continuous, the values we can see here. Always remember, like in the concomitant medication only, we can see these conditions, multiple conditions